Now let's shift our focus to Pennsylvania, the key state. Prose is joining us now. Are you with us?
I'm here. Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much for being with us. JD is the state capital reporter for the USA Today network in Pennsylvania, knows everything about the state. So JD, bring us up to speed. What is happening in Pennsylvania right now?
Latest, just a few minutes ago, there was an update. Biden is now up by approximately 12,400 votes. There's about 124,000 mail-in ballots left to be counted. We refer to them as mail-in ballots in Pennsylvania because this is the first year of no excuse mail-in voting to go along with the traditional absentee ballots. So we just sort of call it all mail-in balloting. And as you mentioned, it was a huge number, 2.6 million mail-in ballots used, overwhelmingly Democratic. And that led to the situation we're in now, like you said, because of the inaction by the GOP legislature.
JD, you said that Biden now leads by 12,000 votes. That doesn't sound like very many. Is it possible Trump could get his lead back in Pennsylvania?
Anything's possible, but it's highly improbable. Those mail-in ballots that are being counted are coming in Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Allegheny County, deep blue areas. What you're seeing is batches coming in that are 70, 75, even up to 80% for Biden. So the numbers don't look good for President Trump right now to try and catch up somehow.
JD, there's been a kind of a furor about an incident in Allegheny County and the counting of ballots there, and the allegation or the charge that they stopped counting and have delayed counting the ballots there. What's actually happened in Allegheny County?
Yeah, it's nothing new. I live in Allegheny County, and so I've been aware of the situation here, and the people out here in Southwest Pennsylvania have been aware of the situation, and it just sort of blew up on social media yesterday. It goes back to September when the vendor who's printing and mailing out the ballots for Allegheny County mailed out 29,000 incorrect ballots. And so those went out. The problem was caught. New ballots were printed. But, in the meantime, some of those ballots might have been returned. You just don't know, how many had come back from the voters. There were some lawsuits filed by candidates, and the settlement basically was that those ballots would be set aside, locked up in a separate room, and then addressed on Friday. The plan all along by Allegheny County officials was to shut down on Thursday, yesterday, and to basically prepare for those 29,000 ballots, as well as upwards to about 7,000 ballots that the Allegheny County executive talked about yesterday that were damaged in the mail, damaged in transit, somehow weren't scanned. Those had to be addressed by the return board. The return board wasn't sworn in until 9 o'clock this morning. Then the process could begin with those approximately 7,000 ballots. The 29,000 ballots cannot be addressed until after 5 p.m. today, because that is the deadline that Governor Wolf, when he extended mail-in balloting, as long as it's postmarked by Election Day, they can be received and counted up until 5 o'clock today. So once 5 p.m. hits, then the Allegheny County Return Board will begin addressing those 29,000 ballots.
JD Prose, just one last question. Have you seen any credible evidence of election fraud in Pennsylvania?
No, I have not heard of anything. I have not seen of anything. Obviously, it's a big issue, especially out in Philadelphia. Multiple charges of fraud and corruption by the president and some other Republican officials. I haven't seen anything. I don't know of any colleagues that have seen anything. U.S. Senator Pat Toomey was on NBC Today show today and basically said that any of the allegations made by Trump were unsubstantiated. There are some Republican officials who allude to legal ballots being counted, insist on that. Of course, that's what's happening anyway. Illegal ballots aren't being counted. They're all legal ballots that were submitted on time. So this continuation of just sort of muddying the waters and putting doubt into people's minds about the legitimacy of the election is disappointing, to say the least.
J.D. Prose, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And thank all of you for joining us this week as well. For more election news from Pennsylvania to Arizona, go to usatoday.com.